A very good morning to everybody on this International Literacy Day. I am Dr. J. Vani Sharma, co-founder and also principal of Tapovan School, Bangalore. So today, thanks to Rotary Junction, under their literacy program, they have requested me to give an insight into the new education policy which was launched by our Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi. And it was really a dream project, and after 34 years, it is coming into implementation level. And so naturally, I feel fortunate that at the fag end of after 34 years of teaching experience, getting an opportunity to also see the new education policy in implementation level. And so I feel really fortunate about it. So it's a very vast subject. So naturally, I could not condense it. Even however much I condensed it, I could only cover the basic insight into school level education in part A. So now I am moving on with the part 2, that is after school hours. And what are the government bodies that are going to ensure that it is in place. So, and in the previous lesson part also, I just missed out on preschooling training. So naturally, we have to focus on that. All the Kendriya Vidyalayas, government Jawahar Vidyalayas, so JNVs and all never had the preschooling. So naturally, the focus is good. Balwadis, Anganwadis are only there at different states. So naturally, that special training, that is early child care, ECC, is also given focus now. The training is required. Since the focus is on 3-language formula, most of the Anganwadis are focusing only on mother tongue. So even those who are there taking the classes also will be well versed in their own language. So now the special focus is there on training them to match the expected learning outcome by the students. So this one briefly I just wanted to tell you. And then moving on to, as I told you, moving on to the NIOS, role of NIOS also. This is going to give not only the 3rd level, 5th level, 6th level, 3rd, 5, 8, 10 and 12 conducting promotional exams. It is also going to give high quality modules in Indian Sign Language, which is totally new to the schooling. So NIOS has great role to play now. It's a government body and wonderful body, so let's gain from it. And NCC is there in secondary and higher secondary schools also under Ministry of Defence. And they are planning free boarding facilities to Jawahar Nehru Vidyalayas and dedicated unit for digital and online learning also. Then National Scholarship Board, that is maybe for the economically deprived and so that is also taken care. Then as I told you, teacher training is taken care with 4-year integrated BA degree, because I am trying to focus here on government bodies that are going to cover the lapses, what are so far non-existing. Then HECI, that is going to be a common regulatory body for entire higher education. That is higher education, focusing on higher education. So various new provisions for children with disabilities. I told you, learning disabilities is increasing almost across in our society, across India. Knowingly or unknowingly, 30% of the children are becoming with not identified or identified with learning disability problems. So maybe lifestyle, maybe whatever is the reason, but almost 30% concealed population is increasing with learning disabilities. So they also need to be taken care of. So that is also disabilities, various new provisions are coming. And in another important thing is financial aspect. So it is very, very easy to say that do this, do that. This is wonderful, this is idealistic, this is needed and all. But how do we manage the financial aspect of it. That is the backbone of any institution. So when there is no provision with a low fee structure as idealistically what the government expects, how do we match the requirements, that is aspirations of the government? So from the government point of it, education sector got 6% of GDP, which was earlier only it was 1.7% of GDP. So from this education sector, 6% GDP is definitely 5 times more. Only thing is, again, if the government focus is only to cover the government schools, BBMP schools, Kendriya Vidyalayas and central government schools and all, there is a huge unaided market also who are giving excellent quality education to the young generation. So I hope part of it also will be taken care to run the as some incentive to ensure that even the private managements who are highly passionate and at the same time who are having a financial crunch also will be given some support. So then the bagless days are encouraged. It is really good from the children's perspective. Children love such activities, and unfortunately teachers also, parents also should come forward. They still under the dogma that only the regular schooling is only schooling, other things is unnecessary. Because when I tried this concept as every Saturday is bagless school with only co-curricular wonderful activities, attendance started falling off. So when the attendance falling off, when we tried to get the feedback, parents say that early madam, there is no education, it's only some all karate, yoga, music, dance, adella. So we are going weekend to the native place. Or that is a casual approach started. So these 10 days of bagless is encouraged, very good. But in implementation, the entire community should realize that it is needed from the child's perspective and then give the support. Otherwise, it is one more excellent program that is envisaged. Then we are coming to the other government body that is going to come into picture. That is National Mission on Foundation Literacy and Numeracy, to be set up by MHRD. So that is again it is going to focus on literacy and numeracy. So what will be that mission activities we have to watch. And definitely after planning so much, they would have taken care that it is useful. So WCD, Early Childhood Care, as I told you, ECC, EC also was not there before. Very informal certificate, 6-month certificate courses under nursery training, Montessori training, one like that and all. With those only the schools were running. So now officially ECC, EC, that is Early Child Care and Education Curriculum is framed, and that will be carried out by MHRD, WCD, HFW and Tribal Affairs. All these bodies will take care that ECC, EC also is spread over, and then more and more teachers for early childhood care will be trained to handle these young kids. Then tech-based option for adult learning also is going to be focused. So it is going to be accepted. Thanks to COVID-19. Already online classes, virtual classes, YouTube channels, everything we have seen the test of it. So I am confident that it is not a problem. It will come into existence. And another thing is NTA. NTA is another body that is coming to offer a common entrance test, similar to SAT. Now each state and each this thing has their own different board exam, common entrance tests for every institution, whether it is IIT or ISC or engineering, medical, Z, everything. So these students will really run from pillar to post, paying entrance fee for so many things. Aspiring students who wish to get into professional courses, we're not only spending huge amount, but also having to run around from place to place. So this is another very good big move by the country, that all this will be vanished, and then one common entrance will be conducted by NTA, and that will be the final one. So I'm sure this is another very good move, and then it should be taken care of. Then other thing, as I told you, NEP 2020, pedagogical changes. National Curricular and Pedagogical Framework to be developed by NCERT. Pedagogy is very, very important. That is, it is not just when you don't want rote memory, it is a wonderful thing. But when you want hands-on experience and experiential learning, creative thinking, and then analytical skills, all these things you require a proper framework to. It's then NCERT is again given that assignment of developing a good pedagogical framework. Then, as I told you, financial autonomy is very important. At least for 45K affiliated colleges, it is going to be sanctioned. But with respect to school level, they have to bring down the cost of education, and then it should be transparency should be there. Their website should present their infrastructure as well as fee structure. So as far as the schools which are catering with passion, catering to real good, giving quality education is never an issue. But the schools which are having a pomp and show and then spending more on infrastructure and trying to get huge fees from the school, from the parents for the infrastructure, so naturally we do not know what will be the status of them. And similarly, very low budget schools, how they are going to cope up with all these facilities to be provided to the children also has to be seen. So whereas the middle range budget schools which are really catering, maybe will be able to sustain better. Then PM approves the new policy for 21st century. As I told you, education policy is modified after 30 years. And then today it is going to be launched, and yesterday there was a press meet. And another body that is going to help in regional languages is Indian Institute of Translation and Interpretation. IITI is proposed. When we want everything, every knowledge to come in all the regional languages, so most of the higher education, particularly with science and technology and all, is more in English. So it's a very big move by the country to encourage Indian languages. So definitely to make it possible, IITIs are proposed. Then similarly, research foundations, a national research foundation also to be established. So far, regular universities were giving MPhil before the research, whereas that MPhil is scrapped and directly the research. For the research, NRFs are also to be established. So that is another thing. And National Committee for Integration of Vocational Training, Lok Vidya. So when we want the vocational education to be introduced at school level, so that guidelines, that framework of curriculum and all those things take place. Lok Vidya also is another thing, is National Committee is formed. With all these so many government committees, when they come with the guidelines and also the giving the proper inputs and giving the proper financial or manpower support, I wish that every institution also should give the support and then take the country to higher order, this thing. And one more thing is, another very interesting thing is that international students office at each institution hosting foreign students. So already we are seeing the inflow of many students into India. Similarly, our students also for higher education going to Australia, US, UK, etc. in seeking the better education. So all these things are happening, but it is very formally, officially is going to get into the country. So every institution will have a host the foreign students also officially. So, and credentials and then multi-entry is another very interesting thing. Multidisciplinarily, multilinguistic and multidisciplinary. What is that multidisciplinary? That's what each child or a college student can opt for anything based on their passion. Odd combinations can be done. And then credentials can be taken. Suppose now, as are now, the 3 years a degree course is there under graduation. So a student may leave, because now I am focusing more on higher education. A student may not be able to continue for whatsoever reason after the completion of first year. So there is no problem at all. Otherwise, as of now, he will never get a degree. unless he completes all the 3 years and covering all the syllabus framed subjects. Whereas now it is not like that. Credentials can be obtained at every level, modules like semester wise, and then those credentials also, and can be from different universities also. So a student can hop from one university to other university and take one combination from a different university and another combination from another university, like that. So this is another very, very interesting aspect of higher education. So how do they track? So government has decided to have an academic bank to store the credits. So every student, now we are already having DigiLockers for keeping all our important documents, like even 10th grade marks sheets also will be in DigiLocker, very safe on the digital form. So similarly, there is going to be an academic bank to store the credits of every student. So there will be a proper tracking that whether it is from Karnataka University or from an IISc or an IIT or engineering, whatever it is. So every module, every this thing that is done, it will be stored in a government stored credit banks. So naturally, tracking of the student tracking system has already come into the school level also. So with so much of advanced technology and software, even that is possible to track the student from which university, which credit he is gaining. So it is not like that, oh, you have left the first year, so you are fit for nothing. It is not so. Now that facility has been done. That is called multi-level exit, multi-level entry. So multi-level entry is possible, multi-level exit also is possible for at a higher level. And IITs will become multidisciplinary institutions, opening doors for humanities students. Like now IITs are focusing on technology, IISc is focusing on pure sciences, IIMB is focusing on business studies. So now it is not so. Everybody, IITs also will become multidisciplinary institutions, which will also open the doors for humanities. Then one large, see that is what, when we say, it is very easy to say that multidisciplinary institutions should be there. Then what about the manpower? How do we get so many experts in different fields? So that is a question. So the government has a plan to have one large multidisciplinary institution in or near every district. That is the project by 2030. So there is a 10 years time frame is given for that, so that multidisciplinary institutions, like similar to the manpower bank, I can call it as, at every district, so that everybody can pull up from there. Resource persons can be pulled from that source. That is another planning by in the NEP 2020. And as I told you before also in the part 1, NEP academic session to begin in September, October. As are now like cold places, winter sessions are for some, and then tropical places it is from June to April, and whereas the hill stations it is Jan to December. So there is a variations in across the country. To avoid all those things, but particularly those who are going on transfers to different places across the country and others also, some uniformity government is planning to bring. So it is likely that new academic session will begin from September, October from this year itself, because due to pandemic, anyhow the institutions have not opened. That is the reason October it is likely to open as a fresh academic year. So this is what is in the pipeline. And definitely these so many major changes are coming into the country. And today already, it is yesterday, education policy released at yesterday 4 p.m. And our Honorable Chief Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji's dream project, he has really given give inspirational talk, and Governor also was spoke very well. So HRD ministry is involved. So when so many people with a mission and a vision are working towards it, so naturally I hope everybody will be able to put in effort collective effort. I rather say it should be a collective effort of center, states, individual institutions, colleges, universities, chancellors, vice chancellors, managements, everybody with hand in hand must move on to benefit the future generation. So exceptional academic excellence is expected, and increasing weightage to Olympiads, particularly government NTSC and NTA, National Testing Aptitude. All these, if they are scoring well, naturally Olympiads, not the private Olympiads, the government Olympiads and other things, those credentials also will be taken into consideration. So the students must gear up and start attempting more of NTSC and NTA and other things that are there. And so naturally unification of exams is going to happen, and is going to be simplistic, and academic excellence is going to be an all-round basis. Then quality teachers, not just only with the degrees, they have to have an outstanding teachers, and to get into rural schools and the government schools and all. There is a continuous assessment of the teachers who are matching the needs or not. And so naturally TEIs, that is teacher education institutions, will be shut down, and everything will come under the ambit of the universities. No para teachers will be given, because now because of shortage of trained teachers, every now and then the government schools were taking para teachers. So short-term basis, that will not be there because of the GDP increase or whatsoever it is. All will be regularized, and regular basis only the teachers will be taken, so that there is more responsibility lies with the teachers. So NPST is another national professional standard for teachers. So it is not just degrees. So again and again they have to undergo a 50 hours of teaching to get the certified as an NPST. That is National Professional Standard for Teachers. So with all these things, we assume the time frame given is by 2030. And naturally the government is urging to curb commercialization of education, and then declare and have the transparency, financial transparency, by declaring their assets, liabilities, commitment and financial status, fee structure, and all, as well as infrastructure status, everything on the website. So this is the planning from the government bodies. And so naturally finance reason, another option given to the schools is they can also do the crowdsourcing. The permission is given for crowdsourcing, is suggested to meet the additional expenses, and then of course with the proper disclosure of financial status. So these are with the aspect of academic excellence, financial stability and the need, and then manpower, that is a professional manpower supply. All these things are planned well in NEP. And so naturally, as our beloved Prime Minister said, it is an aspiration of millions of students, and it should be implemented in letter and spirit. So I am sure it will be taken as a collaborative, collective endeavor of all the stakeholders. So with this brief government bodies listing and all, I take leave, and I once again a big thank you to Rotary Junction for giving me this opportunity to say whatever little I know. It's a vast subject, I know very little about it. Whatever I know, I could break it into two parts, part A and part B, or part 1 and part 2, covering up to primary schooling and then higher education and government bodies. So thank you so much. Once again, thank you, Rotary Junction.